So let's talk about, since you're budget and finance guys, talk about possible strategies that a board, like the building needs major work, the residents are concerned about getting a huge assessment. How can they just talk about some of the little nuts and bolts about how funds might be accumulated to cover this? Like what are some options that might
so
be
yeah, we talked, I think we talked about co-ops, and I before of how co-ops would do it. I didn't really get to talk about condos because I was talking too much. I apologize. So I want to talk about condos. So it's actually, there's been I've seen this with a lot of our buildings, and I find it to be, I think, the best solution you have with condominiums, where and again, it's the reason it's structured this way is because that's really how the banks will approve it, is that we see a lot of condos now doing taking out a loan, a traditional loan, and obviously since the condominiums are not owned by the condominium association does not own the building. Right. All the owners own their own, so there's really no collateral for the buildings. What they'll do is they'll make the building assess back the loan. So we'll have buildings that, let's say, they need $1 million. We'll go out and take out $1 million loan from a bank, traditional loan for 10 years, self-amortizing, and we'll implement an assessment equal to those monthly payments. So they're in essence really taking out financing for all the owners on behalf of each owner. Mm-hmm. And it's really, I think, the best, because you're spreading it out, and what a lot of them I've seen, really, I would say really good buildings, but I guess more thoughtful buildings will build into the clause that they could prepay. Maybe it'll be more structured like a line of credit, and they could prepay without a penalty when it comes in. So you kind of answer the other question you've had before, which is, what do you do if some people are on fixed income and some aren't? So you say, all right, we'll take out $1 million assessment. Whoever wants to pay their share and not pay interest, essentially, and pay up front, give us the money, pay it up, and we'll take that money and pay the line of credit down, right? So because we need to get the work done. We need to get the work done today, right? This is an emergency situation. We need $1 million. We got financing, but we're going to implement an assessment. If you could pay your portion up front, pay it down. So this way it reduces the principal and interest for the building. And then anyone that's not, it's just, and this is again similar to what co-ops do as well. They'll just do an assessment with an upfront payment at a discount, and then you could spread it out over 3 to 5 years. You're able to pay off the loan at the end of the 10 years. And what's nice about it, I think is nice, is that at the end of 10 years, you're not stuck with, you're not stuck with a loan. So if you have no projects coming up, you've just, that the loan's gone and you're back to working operationally and focusing on the next project. So it's I think, for condominiums, it's a good option for those that can't really afford it, like we were talking about, or you have the hybrid. Some can't borrow, pay it back over the same amount of period. If that's too much, then I can't.
This is something that a competent and well-resourced financial advisor will be able to lay out the options that a building might have, and they can find the one that's most attractive and manageable. And
there's a lot of again, talk to your accountant, talk to your management company. There's always someone in the buildings that has a financial background. Find those people, say, this is what we have. This is what we have. You're an owner. What do you think we should do? And I think you always could come up with a nice strategy to get there.